Alright guys, welcome back on my channel again today. So thank you very much for those of you who already watched the last video that I uploaded, especially in regard about the character buildings. So starting from now, I will be sharing about how I built up my characters until been playing this game like almost 2 years. So I want to share to you guys how I built up my characters and how this can be beneficial for you, for those who follow my path. And actually you can be much better than me if you know how to build it up, even after you using my formula, guys. So today I want to talk about Thanos. So as you can see here, Thanos is really amazing. Thanos is really great, and he is like the best villain in this game, and nobody is like better than him. So definitely nobody can be more than greater than Thanos until now. And well, I'm talking about villain, guys, but if I talk about other heroes, in general they are less greater than Thanos, but in some mode they can be greater than Thanos. So now let's me talk about specifically how I have already built Thanos so far. So here we go, guys. So as you can see, this is Thanos. His animation is really great. It's really good. So let's go back about specifically talking about his skills and everything. So as you can see, I want to talk about, as usual, about his stats. There are so many uniforms here, and the first uniform that you're gonna get when you recruit Thanos is like this, and this is no longer useful. This is no longer recommended, but this one is seriously amazing from the last movie, Avengers Endgame, guys. So now I want to talk about his biography. So Thanos is basically a super villain. He's an alien race, the called Mad Titan, a melancholy entity which is consumed by the love of death. So if you compare his story within the movie, the cinematic universe, and compare from the origin of the comic, Thanos is basically in the comic or in the original story, he is in love with the goddess of death. So the goddess of death is Thanos in love with her, and Thanos want to win her heart by doing something that the death wants. And what the death wants is really a bad idea for the universe. So, but in the movie, we all know that Thanos just want to wipe out half of the population of the universe, because he likes just to do that for the sake of the balance of the source of the universe. So well, let's talk about his gear. So in order to build up your Thanos rank, as you can see, my Thanos rank here is 17,000. It used to be 15,000, but somebody already like built it up, so my Thanos is getting less now. You have to equip all of this Uru, guys. The best Uru that you can use for Thanos is all in regard of physical attack, because Thanos is a physical based monster, and HP and ignore defense is things that are very recommended. If you have Odin's blessing Uru, then that's really crazy. Like those blessings Uru and something like that is really crazy, and it's gonna be like a very monstrous for Thanos. So the suggest thing is critical rate. All the things related to the critical damage rate, physical attack, HP is gonna make your Thanos greater. So let's make Thanos greater again, guys, by following what I'm sharing here. And then this circling stuff that you see here, this physical attack, critical rate, HP, there are 3 circling item here. This is how you have to increase your Uru stat, because if you do that, then your Uru will be really great, and I guess you already know how to do that. In regard of the skills, after you max out all of the skills, so this is his skills. As you can see, it decrease speed to your enemy, make it remove all the buff from the target, and then it give the target fear, stun. And what applies to yourself is you are having like the super armor effect, barrier, shield, all damage immune, invincible effect. It means that your character is really heavily guarded and heavily hard to be penetrated by your enemy's attack. And this is all defensive skills. And then the damage increased by 70%. That's really crazy. Ignores the target dodge rate by 100%, guys. So no matter how dodgy your character is, the Thanos can just wipe it out so easily. Remove all the debuffs that you have, the energy damage increase and invincible as well. Wow, you can learn specifically about all of these stats on your library. But what I'm saying is Thanos tier 3 skills is giving his very defensive and attacking at the same time, and it's also making your enemies becoming like stun passive, reducing the buff, and this is really crazy. The tier 3 skill is something that you have to achieve. And then his level 1 I mean like his passive skills, it's making his damage increase by 10%, and the bonus damage also increased by 40%. So the skill damage increase, bonus damage increase, and ignore defense also increase. And then the first skill is talking about making your enemies not only just being stunned but also getting paralyzed, bind. So it makes your the capability of your enemies to commence an attack to become less than its potential. And then it removes the elasticity, meaning that your enemies cannot be like slick, but instead your enemies can be easily targeted by Thanos attack, removing all the buffs from the target, meaning all the buffs that make your enemy's character skillful and stronger. It's all like nothing. It's like being neutralized. And then applying to the self, being invincible and energy damage. So as you can see, Thanos is really amazing. And then the second skill, it's making your Thanos so the elasticity is remove it again, making the enemies bleeding, decrease all the defense of your enemies, giving stun, fracture, and physical damage. So imagine most of the skills is making your character stun, guys. So that's crazy. It's really crazy. And then his third skill also it's making bleeding, stun, speed attack increase for your Thanos, critical rate increase, remove the incapacitation. The incapacitation is like when your character is supposed to be debuffed but it's not. And then the penetrate to your enemy's defense is totally absurd with the Thanos third skill attack. And then when we talk about his another passive skills, so Thanos is like having the attacking increase, and then the chance of immunity to all damage from the enemy is like 100%. And then the recovery of max HP is increased by 30%. It's amazing, guys. This is monstrous, guy. And then this jet plane airborne strike is giving the enemies burn by 30% increase, 3% decrease of all defense. It creates fractures, and the fire damage increase by 114%. Wow, I just have to say wow, my jaws is dropping, guys. And then the fifth skill, this is more crazier. It increased the penetrate to all the enemy's defense skills, and then immunity to all damage to yourself, and then it give the energy damage increase by almost 150% on your physical attack. Guys, this guys is basically talking about strong damage, strong attack, strong ability to penetrate the enemy's defenses and making your enemy's defenses weak, making your enemies stunned, making your enemy bleeding, making your enemies removing all of their buff, guys. So we are talking about Thanos in that way, guys, and his leadership skills is much more crazy, especially if you have another strong villain allies like Dr. Doom, or like who else, like maybe Apocalypse, or maybe like the Cyclops in the Phoenix Armor. The villain allies attack will be increased by 36% if you put Thanos as the leader, and the defense will increase by 36%, and the debuff duration is reduced by 30%. Guys, what else can be better than him? Thanos is definitely talking about a crazy Mad Titan. So it's not only mad, but it's also crazy. So like double crazy, the combo of the mad stuff. And the ISO set, of course, offensive, when you have to put the power of the Angry Hulk. You can see here the power of the Angry Hulk increase the attack, the speed, the defense, critical rate. We're talking about the ignoring defense, and all of these stats is really amazing. So it makes your skills, which is already combined of attacks and defense stuff, becoming crazier. And then when it comes to custom gear, my suggestion is all the guard brick immunity, because we all have to understand that guard brick is talking about the canceling out the enemy skill on you. So your enemy getting stunned, your enemy skills getting cancelled, and then your enemy getting debuff. What else can be amazing than this? Critical damage increase. So the CTP of Authority, normally I use him as my timeline battle squad, and that's really amazing because his damage is increased. You can cancel your enemy's attack on the timeline battle, and that's what make your Thanos more fiercer, beastier, and whatsoever. So alright guys, so I think that's all my update about Thanos. Let's just show him a little bit, but I don't know where to do because well, maybe just I don't know, I don't want to show it now, but I don't want to say that Thanos is huge, Thanos is amazing, Thanos is crazy, and you are a lot more crazier if you don't build up your Thanos after you see this video. I know that his resources, his materials is really scarce, especially if you're free to play, but it doesn't mean that you cannot have it, because on my other free to play account I have my Thanos like a monster on the 70 level already. Alright guys, so I think that's all for my video today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you will follow my YouTube so that you can learn about more other tips and tricks that I will share to you guys. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Enjoy your time and bye bye.